touching Ophelia still?
You're hot?
Don't touch that.
Yeah, Ophelia's on the bed. Joanna brought her on the bed. Boy, air out from your body, it makes me feel better.
What makes
good.
My
Your
body makes
body.
you...
Yeah.
Air from your...
The air from my body makes you feel better?
Like,
You just want to use me to blow on your face?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jesus.
The
take
sixth
wheel.
take, maybe the sixth take, the seventh take, I don't know. We're gonna try this again because we're so excited to share with you our 1 week old chicks. They have transformed since you've seen them last, but they are not yet at their full grown adult state. So it is not the imagination of the chickens walking through the yard and laying eggs in your backyard coop.
And they never do that anyway, so don't expect it.
They still need TLC. They still need what we call a brooder. What is a brooder?
It's a box for chicks.
What?
A box.
It's a box.
It's a box.
It's not a box. It is a safe containment. It can be anything, but it has to be
It's a box.
contained
Box.
safely for chicks, and it has to have a warmer in it.
It's a box with a warmer in it.
A brooder.
You want a warming plate in there. Some people use a heat lamp, but we like warming plates. You want your warming plate to be at about 99 degrees, but there's a brooder setting for it, so it's automatic. Keeps your chicks warm.
Right.
You want to make sure that your brooder is stocked with pine shavings, a nice thick layer, so when they poop, it doesn't smell.
And it's clean and sanitary
And it doesn't smell.
for the chicks,
And it
because
doesn't
you
smell.
don't want them dealing with
And you don't want it to be stinky either.
Yeah, you really don't want it to smell.
And you want them to make sure that they have access to clean water. Clean water means that you're wiping out the pine shavings if the chicks kick any pine shavings in. You're making sure that it's full, that their water is readily available and that they have access to it. It's critical to their health. We use Hydro Hen, which is a supplement for vitamins and electrolytes for the chicks. We think that helps a ton. Because this first week can be volatile. If there are any problems with the chicks, it's gonna happen in the first week typically.
I'm sorry. I think you mean vulnerable. Is it volatile? Do you think the first week of chick life is explosive? Might be.
Volatile's like a real estate term that we use, okay?
Oh, sorry. Insider lingo.
No, like when you say
I'm
that a
just
market is
imagining
volatile.
Explosions, you know.
Explosions? What are you talking about?
Volatile. It means like, boiling, like chemical reactions.
No, vulnerable. Chicks are vulnerable during their first week.
They are vulnerable.
They're quite vulnerable. So you want to make sure that you're giving them the best chance to survive. It sounds a little bit like they are like hanging in the balance or something.
No.
Plenty of your chicks are going to have a very vibrant first week, but you'll have a handful that may not, and you want to make sure that you're giving them what they need, and that includes Hydro Hen.
Yes, clean water, plenty of food. You can also add chick grit. This is fascinating. If you get to the meat harvesting stage, you will notice the chicken gizzard that's about here on the chicken. And that's how they digest their food, is it like grinds the food down, so they don't have grit already in their gizzard. They need to eat it, which is like eating rocks and dirt and stuff. But if they're in a brooder, there are no rocks and dirt.
There are no rocks to eat.
So you can add some chick grit.
Like Moana. Moana needed to give that chicken some grit.
Moana needed to give him some grit. He ate rocks, right?
That's right.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Do you think that could be the name of our breast, or is that like bad?
I don't know.
Like Hey wasn't really.
Hey was dumb. That's
was,
rocks.
Yeah.
But that's probably because he needed some rocks.
You probably need to have some chick grit. Absolutely. So you need those things. Space. Tell me about space. How much space do you need?
Some people think that you need. You can put 4 chicks per square foot. We tend to lean towards that 2 or 3 chicks per square foot. So our 2x8,
no, 2x4.
Dang it.
2x4.
So our 2x4, we're putting 20 chicks about, and we can stretch it to 25, but it feels volatile. I said that intentionally. That was a joke.
Volatile.
I was joking.
I know.
Why don't you laugh at my jokes? And after the first week, the chicks start feathering. So our chicks, you'll see that Frida and Franky and no, we have a vote.
Okay, well, yes,
we can add Hey to our vote, but there's a vote. So you'll see, we're going to take you out, we're going to show you the brooder setup that we have, and we're going to show you Frida, Franky, and whoever it is here shortly. Okay everyone, so here is our setup. We have our incubator and our hatcher, 2 separate components because the last 3 days of incubation, you have to move them over to the hatcher that has a slightly higher humidity. These are called cabinet incubator and a cabinet incubator and a cabinet hatcher made by GQF. We'll do a formal review on this probably in the coming weeks. We'll have used it, 7 or 8 times here in a few weeks. So we'll be doing a formal review on those. This is our brooder setup. So these right here are the stock tanks that we have filled with all of our babies. You have the feeder here, water here, and the warming plate that we were referencing as well. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 stock tanks, and then over here we have a brooder that we just had some extra chicks coming, so we had to buy one on Craigslist, or not Craigslist, on Facebook Marketplace, which is a great resource for finding chicken things where people have given up on chickens. So I'm going to grab our 3 chicks to show you and take them back to the table, and we'll go into some detail on these chicks at 1 week. All right guys, here are our chicks. They're really enjoying this tripod. They think it's a water, or maybe they need some grit. You can see that they're starting to feather, as we were talking about earlier. Feather on the wings, and then they're starting to feather on their tails. Not on their back yet, and not under the wings, but this is a good start. And you can even see amongst these 3 breeds, it's nice that we have 3 because you can see who develops at what rate. You have the cream leg bar here, and she has a little bit of feathering, but it's not quite, she's still got the fuzz even on the ends of her feathers. So hers is a little bit slower to progress. And then we've got the blue copper Morans. Good feathering, no fuzz left. Really no fuzz at all. But less development on the tail feather and no back development yet. And then you have the American Breast, who has a really full wing and really good tail feather development. Of these 3, this is the fastest developer. American Breasts are meat birds, so they're bred to develop as fast as possible. Black copper and blue copper Morans are developed for the richness of their eggs and the coloring on their eggs. Naturally, a richer egg they're gonna lay less frequently. So you start to see different nuances amongst breeds when you start to look at how often they lay, how big do they get, how quickly are they developing. And so those are things we'll dive into in later videos, but it's interesting to watch these and see who's the fastest and who's the slowest developers. The American breasts are definitely ready to go outside, fully feathered at 4 weeks. The cream leg bar and black and blue copper Marans may be a little bit slower than that. They definitely are a little bit slower than that. But it's important to know the chicks that you're buying. As an example, if you need to have birds that are cold hardy, you're gonna wanna make sure that you look into the breed that you buy and make sure that they're able to withstand harsh winters. Likewise, if you're in a warm location, you're gonna wanna make sure that you have heat tolerant birds. So there are nuances that we wanna look into when we're buying chicks to begin with, and make sure that we're buying breeds that are appropriate for what it is that we need. Do I need more eggs? Do I have a large family like the Futrells have? And I need layers. I need chickens that are gonna lay a lot of eggs annually. Or am I a pastry chef and I want the rich eggs? I wanna be able to have black copper Marans give me those dark, creamy, rich eggs so that I can make amazing pastries. It's important to sit down and determine what your goals are with chickens before you buy chicks, and not get caught up in the Tractor Supply. Oh, I'm here. I had been mentioning that I wanted chicks. Let's buy a coop and get some chicks right now, quick. It's important for us to be thoughtful as we're working through starting raising chickens. And so that's something that we've been focused on. But these are things you want to know going into it before you're to this stage, this week-old stage. So as we wrap this up, you're going to start to see these birds really start to grow. They're going to change a lot. You'll see lots of feathers next week. You're going to see significant size change. We'll probably see a large difference in the breasts compared to the Marans and the cream-crested leg bar. I'm guessing the cream-crested leg bar is going to continue to be the smallest, but this is going to be fun. We're excited to get to share with you guys in this growing of these chicks and really document it and document the different weeks and different stages of their lives. So keep tuning in. We'll be back next Friday with Frida, Freddie, and hopefully by next Friday we have a name. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.